refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running. Toes they gonna take
This is what we got to tell.
I've been doing this.
I felt it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I felt it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome to Art to Well, the Dummy Bros edition. You got me and my guy Tomo. As you see, Joe is not here today, but it's all good. You see, we dressed in all black because there was a funeral that happened yesterday. So, we got to pay our respects to the Philadelphia Eagles fans. The San Francisco 49ers went up into the link and dominated that game in every facet. Special teams, defense, offense. Beat them in the league 42-19 with the Deshaun Jackson retirement party. So I don't think it went so well for them. So just got to pay our respect. So a moment of silence, please, for the Eagles. Psych! Get them boys,
Emotional, damn it!
Get them Eagles up out of here, man. I told y'all what was going to happen. I said we was going to smoke them boys, and that's what happened. What's going on, Tomo? How you doing today, my guy?
Hey, man, I know you on cloud nine right now because the first thing I can say is, as a Cowboy fan, I'm excited that you all beat them. But as a Cowboy fan, I also got PTSD from watching that beatdown. So I'm feeling good, though, man, outside of that, man. I'm just glad y'all gave us a chance to fight for that number 1 or number 2 spot now.
Hey, it's just, I just got to eat this Eagle cookie, man. It's pretty. I sold out all the stew that I had. I had stew, I had wings with mumbo sauce, man. It's all gone now. So I just got cookies left. I ain't got nothing else. So
you took their cookies, man. That's crazy, Dave. Why y'all do that?
Hey, we stand on business. That's what it was. Debo said today was trash. Trash. That's all I gotta say. Let's get this show started, man. But we are live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and X. So if you are watching, make sure you like, share, subscribe, become a member. We're going to play commercials. That way you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about when it comes to the memberships. But look, y'all, we got other topics to talk about. Of course, we're going to recap the Niners and Eagles game. We also got to talk about LeBron and Ime Udoka. They was going at it on the sidelines. Then we had the Packers and Chiefs. And then we got to talk about college, man, because something crazy had happened with the college playoffs. So we got to give our thoughts on it, man. So I don't know if y'all knew anything about that, but we're gonna talk about it today. So it's Monday as we start the week, Money Making Mondays. So let's go ahead and turn up.
Turn me up, 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 up.
Other than that, enjoy the show, Tomo. Hee.
Man, so like Dave said, we got a bevy of topics that we got to go over. But of course, we got to start with that Sunday night game first. Because what's going on in Kansas City? Is it like the Wizard of Oz? Or like, did they just lose all their magic beans? It's getting ugly. Or should we say it's Tina there? Because what's Love got to do with it? Because Jordan is showing up, man. Christian Watson caught 2 touchdowns from Love. 2 of the 3 touchdowns that he threw, and they win. This is the 3rd consecutive game. They won 3 games in a row. They try and come back. Hey, Lions, y'all better wake up because the Packers is on their way. But they beat Mahomes 27-19 Sunday night, and we just got to recap it, quick reaction to the game. And for this one, I start this one off because I know the second topic you got a lot to say about it, Dave. Well, you want to start this one? It's up to you, man. Because for me, I got you. For me, the question is, EB left, right? He went to the Commanders. They said the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs is struggling. But he goes to the Commanders. The offense doesn't improve just a little bit. But then you got Terry McLaurin saying certain things about, I'm just out there running to be running. And then you look at the Chiefs and you're like, well, they still can get the ball down the field. They still have receivers that's capable of making plays. They have a running back. They still got Kelsey. But sometimes when it's just a union, maybe they should just stay together. Maybe they're better together than they are apart. And that's what it's looking like, because even in this time where the Chiefs could come back in this game, it just seemed like the Packers came out there and dominated. They were just looking like the flat out better team, which is crazy because now it's looking like teams when they go to Kansas City. Back in the day, they used to be nervous. They're like, man, ooh, they got the big bad Mahomes. They got Travis Kelsey. They just going to will and deal. Now teams is going to Kansas City, or when they play Kansas City, it's just like, okay,
we got a chance.
What they going to do, drop the ball? Because we know they're going to drop a pass. What they going to do, get a false start? Because we know they're going to mess it up. And that's just what's been happening. Jordan Love also woke up and was like, this is my team now. Rodgers is gone. Brett Favre ain't here no more. This is my moment, and it's time to shine. And Watson probably said the same thing. Devontae Adams ain't here no more. You know, all the other great wide receivers from the Packers ain't here. This is our team. Hopefully, AJ Dillon could wake up, you know, because my fantasy team needs a little bit of a running back. But other than that, these two found a connection, man, and they just making plays on top of plays, especially the one where he mauled the old boy. Like, technically,
my goodness, Christian Watson was cooking.
And that lets you know right there that the confidence is there, because Jordan Love wasn't making those type of throws a couple weeks ago. And if he was, it was getting picked off.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it just says like Kansas City is going through some growing pains, or maybe they going to turn it on when they get to the playoffs. But right now, the Packers, they willing and dealing.
Man, look, I gotta give Love some love. His last 3 games, week 11, he was 27 of 40. 322 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Week 12, 22 of 32, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns. Last night, 25 of 36, 267 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks. He has thrown 8 touchdowns and 0 picks in his last 3 games. And he's averaging about 68% completion percentage. He's been balling out. He's been doing everything that he needs to do. And they've won every single game. All 3 games I mentioned, they've won the last 3 games. When they didn't look so good early in the season.
Man.
I know some people had picked them to win the division or at least make it to the playoffs. And early on, it didn't look like that was even going to be the case. Same thing for Minnesota. Minnesota didn't look like they was going to do that, and then they went on a little run. Unfortunately, Kirk Cousins got injured. He's out for the rest of the season. So, you know, we got that, but they went and traded for Josh Dobbs, but he's lost the last 2 games. So who knows what's going to happen with the Vikings? But this Packers team look like they're definitely on a run to make it to the playoffs. They're winning games right now, and these are important games. This is late in the season, and they're making the charge right now to be able to put themselves in position to win and get into the playoffs. Like I think right now the Vikings they own the number 7 spot right now. They took over the Vikings number 7 spot. If playoffs ended today, they would be number 7 right now. They would be the last wild card. So we just gotta give props when it's due, man. But Kansas City, I don't know what's going on up in the Kansas City, man. It really seems like they miss EB. I don't know if that's the case. It's either they miss EB or they really need to go get him a receiver that can catch the ball. You know, you had the opportunity to go get D-Hop, but you didn't do that. And you see what he just did. He just went over 10,000 yards, 12,000 yards receiving in his career.
And that's after Will Levis had to yell at him.
Exactly. Like, you had opportunity to go get a receiver who was out there, and he was willing to go to your team, but you didn't do anything. You didn't do enough to go get him. Now he's in Tennessee. So maybe they will turn it on the playoffs. I don't know. Their defense has been playing very well all season long. So it's not like the defense is the issue. It's just they can't score. And then there was a throw in that game that looked really bad in the fourth quarter where he threw it up and it almost got picked. I'm like, Mahomes, what are you doing? I understand you got Mahomes' magic, but you gotta relax.
Exactly.
You can't be throwing it like that. And then the refs almost tried to give them the game with the terrible call that they gave. That he was clearly still in bounds, and it was a clean hit. He didn't get hit in the head. He didn't get hit low. He went in with his shoulder and he got laid out. Just because it's Mahomes, you give him that call? Nah, man. So Kansas City better do something and pick it up because right now it's just like the Ravens are about to own the AFC right now. So.
Man. Hold up, they got the Dolphins got the number one spot right now, but they both 9-3, them and the Ravens. But some people would say that Mahomes call was a makeup call because remember the PI that they missed on Market on MBS, bro, like leapfrogged them, and technically they should have been at 7 and probably won that game. But
he definitely climbed on his back.
He did, and then it's funny though because I think the owners are now coming out saying, "Hey, we need to do something about these refs." I'm like, oh, so now y'all care. Now y'all care. When it's been going on for years, now y'all want to say something. But that's another subject for another day. For me, we always ask, well, I always ask when people bring up what's Jalen Hurts' record when he's trailing. And I'm kind of looking at the Chiefs. Like, look at last week when they were playing the Raiders. They were losing that game too, and they found a way to come back. I mean, they were leading that game against the Eagles, but then again, they pitched a shutout in the second half. Here we go again with situations, and I know people want to come on here and they'll jump in the comments and say, well, it's not his fault the receivers are dropping the passes. Okay, so what are you all doing in practice? Because I know there is one thing that Andy Reid loves to do is add new plays every week when they're playing a new opponent. Hey, Andy, it's not the receiving core for that maybe. Maybe you need to stick to something where these kids can learn it, and then once they grasp that, you move up. Because it's not like the old days where you had a Tyreek Hill and Kelsey who could, hide those blemishes. MVS can't be able to hide those blemishes. He is one of your taller receivers, but he's not making the plays when it's time to make a play. What's it? Reese Rice? I think that's I think his name Reese Rice, right? Last name Rice. He looks good. I mean, lucky for him, he actually hit the ground because other than that would have been a game-sealing fumble right there. It's just sometimes they're headed towards a buzzsaw, and you don't want that to happen in the playoffs where somebody can take advantage of your weakness, knowing that all you got is Kelsey. And Pacheco is good, but if they stop the run game and they stop Kelsey, what you got?
Not much.
Man.
You ain't got nothing else because, Rasheed Rice ain't doing much. Kadarius Toney ain't doing much. I mean, you ain't really got nothing. So it's Mahomes, Kelsey, or bust.
Man. And when we bring up the EB, and I think you can agree with me on this one, it's not the fact that their offense is struggling because the EB is not there. It's just sometimes it's just a chemistry thing.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah, for me, it's just the chemistry. And what they got Matt Nagy there. I mean, we all know what his office was when he was in Chicago. It was putrid. So
unless he want to turn Mahomes into Justin Fields and just start running all day.
I don't think that's going to work for Mahomes.
Not at all. Not at all. You don't make that much money doing that. But again, hats off to the Packers, man, for finding their leverage and finding their way back into this playoff hunt. I mean, things can still go left. They can get that 6th seed because Minnesota might start losing now. They could take this division. Well, not the division. They can take that spot because I don't think the Rams going to lose another game until they play the Cowboys. I had to throw that out there. They thought they was going to catch me slipping.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. But with that being said, talking about refs and we talking about the owners and just trying to get rid of the refs. Last week or maybe 2 weeks ago where Chris Paul got the double text and then he got ejected and then Steve Kerr got the technical and then he got ejected because, they went back and forth with the ref. The NBA is going crazy, man. So just two dudes on the court talking. That's it. Just talking a little trash. Yeah. It happens all the time. You see it at any park. You also see it at any rec. For the football moms or the basketball moms, you see them yelling at the coaches all the time. Put my baby in. That's a foul. You hear it all the time. But Udoka had some words for the Lakers, man. He was tired of it. He turned into a fan and forgot he was a coach for a minute. He got ejected. He got ejected on Sunday game with like 8 minutes and 35 seconds remaining, for his second technical foul for going back and forth with LeBron. He said some words to him, tell him stop, beep, over calls and stop being a soft beep, LeBron James also got a tech too, but Dave, should he have got ejected?
I don't think either one of them should have got a tech, honestly. I really don't. I think LeBron need to relax and know the difference between being called a B and saying that you are BN, So, players say that all the time. Do players get ejected for saying that? No.
Unless you
and for one, LeBron instigated it because LeBron got in his face. So why do you give the tech to the head coach? Because he's responding back, because he's going back. I think this is one of the things that I don't like about the NBA now, because they giving people a tech for any and everything. You wave your hand like this. You bounce the ball. You pass the ball to them. You walk off without saying nothing to them. You getting attacked. Like, I don't know what it is, what they want, what these refs want people to do, man. Because people are just getting ejected left and right for a bunch of BS, man. It just don't make sense. I don't think either one of them should have gotten ejected or gotten attacked. I mean, for one, he already had Udoka already had attack. So it's like, all right, cool, but you don't tech him. And then just like Joe said, refs sat there and watched him. He literally was standing right there in between them and just was going back and forth, watching them say whatever. And as soon as he didn't hear what he ain't like to hear, tech, you gone. Like, come on, man. This, like, are you there to officiate the game, or are you there to decide what happens in the game? Like, you're there to officiate the game. They are men talking, going back and forth. It doesn't matter if they're arguing or not. Ain't no fist being thrown
at all.
Ain't nobody talking about nobody mama. Ain't nobody talking about nobody family. So, and then he didn't call him a B. He said that they're acting. They're like, come on, man. It's, for me, neither one of them shouldn't get an attack. And these refs need to stop being soft.
So I looked at it, and then I found the clip, and then of course, going to the X. If you're watching this on X, make sure you hit the like button and repost. But somebody, the comments under videos be funny. Somebody was like, "Hey man, did y'all see the lady in the background after LeBron said what he said?" She was like, "Oh my god." It was like, that's why he got ejected. Email got ejected for it. But for me, honestly, I'd have just looked at him and said, "Stop doing what?" All right, I got you. And next time we inbound the ball, because coaches like to stand close, I would say, all right, we're gonna run the Nia. We about to run the Nia, y'all. And just looked over at him and made sure we scored on it, because you got to score after you do that. But for the rest of the day, I'd have just found little ways to jab back at him, because you saying we crying over calls, but again, it's trash talk. That's all it was. Stop crying and play basketball. We say it about football all the time. Like when Swift got hit, some people say stop crying and just play football. It is what it is. So LeBron, you were kind of being a little sensitive there. You got to stop doing that, man, because you still are one of the faces of this league, and you like to talk trash too. What's the video clip where he was talking to I forgot the boy name, but he was playing for the Phoenix Suns, and LeBron was on the bench. It's on some. Oh, now you like, he said you was 2 plays from not being in the league no more. Now you want to talk trash to me.
Oh, campaign. That's what
yeah. Like, LeBron, you can talk a little trash too. We're not saying you KG with it. And everybody know about that KG video.
Yeah, but KG, wow. KG got mad in the parking lot.
KG still getting mad on podcasts, but still, you're not there with it. But you just know that comes with the game, bro. And everybody likes that because it keeps the game going. It keeps the morale going. It keeps, everybody's juices going. Pause. It keeps you interested in the game, because now it's like, oh, you like the subject say, you talking to me? All right, now watch this. Drop 40 on them. Easy.
That's all he had to do. When somebody talk trash, just go back it up on your game. Like, all right, you saying we doing that? All right, watch. I'm about to make your boys act like that now. Like, that's all you gotta do. Like, come on, man. It's not that serious.
Now, if Joe was here, I would say now if Joe was here, he would love this next comment I'm about to say, though, because what would Jordan do when somebody start talking trash? So you better warn your boy.
Exactly.
And then next thing you know, he go out there and ball out. Meanwhile,
exactly.
LeBron walking over to people having conversations. Like, look, sometimes you just gotta let your game talk. You like, I think y'all about the same age and you still dominating the league. Like,
exactly.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing to prove. You could have been like, well, clearly I'm still playing and you coaching. Somebody's career wasn't what they thought it was going to be, huh?
And I would have said you thought Boston was going to win that finals, huh? Now you in Houston. Like, it's just so much you could say to go back and forth with that.
Yep, that's true, J-Mo. LeBron, the same dude that be doing the bottle flip challenges on the sidelines in the playoffs, dancing and all. Yep, LeBron famous for all that. But when somebody talks smack at him, he don't like it. So
is LeBron pulling a Knicks series? You know what? We're gonna talk about that when we come, but we got a quick commercial break, man. So for everybody that's here, make sure y'all hit that like button. We appreciate y'all for joining. If you are new to the page, make sure you hit that subscribe. And then when you subscribe, about 2 episodes in, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to be a member. So when we come back off this commercial break, we're gonna talk about the NCAA playoffs, and of course, we gotta talk about why Dave went black. I don't know where the Eagles at, but they should have been here.
Yeah, they got buried. That's why.
Birds flying south. You know how I feel. We be right back after this.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Han.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running toes, they gon' take them.
Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Dummy Bros back.
Man, just like that. So hopefully y'all stay tuned and actually watch everything that was on that commercial break, because I told you we got a bevy of shows that's gonna make you want to become a member and subscribe. And for the people that I seen the views drop off, we told you it was a commercial break. That ain't mean you had to leave. I mean you stay. All right, you keep us playing in the background. All right, I'm watching y'all. But yeah, now that we back, we got to talk about some NCAA playoffs. Shout out to CTC. We got Carl talking college. He talks college basketball and football. For basketball, both men's and women's. He keeps you very updated. And I'm telling you, Carl did a show last night after Sunday night football, and I'm like, bruh, go to bed. But no, Carl got to work. And I understand why he going to work, because the NCAA, man, they working. They announced it. They announced the brackets. So you know, I'm a Terp fan, so I'm not too close to these big name teams. So I'm gonna let Dave take it away. But I do know there was one team that got left out, and that's very upsetting. So Dave, can you just inform us a little bit of what happened there?
All right, so they had the college football playoff selection show. You know, they always go through 1 through 6 and pretty much how it goes. So Michigan was number 1. I believe it was Texas that was number 2.
Bring it up.
Yeah, Texas was 2. Texas was 2. Washington was 3rd, and then they were trying to figure out who was going to be 4th, because Georgia became 6th, and then they were just trying to see like who was 4 going to be, who was 4 or 5 going to be. So what happened was they chose Alabama to be 4 and Florida State to be 5. So they pretty much robbed FSU, who was undefeated. They say you go undefeated, you should be guaranteed in the playoff.
That makes sense.
They went undefeated, 13-0, won the conference. And yeah, I get it. Their best player, Jordan Travis, who's been having a phenomenal season this year, got hurt. He's out for the rest of the season. And I get that. But they still won 2 games without him. 2 important games. One was the ACC championship game against Louisville. Now, it wasn't a pretty win, but it doesn't. They don't. Is it really about style points? Is that what college football is about? No, it's about winning. You got to go get the job done. Now, if they were trying to say that we want the 4 best teams in there, okay, then Georgia should have been in there. Because who's better than Georgia and Alabama, honestly? It's the SEC, so we know that they're pretty dominant. And that game was close. Alabama won the game by 3. It's 27-24. And Texas had beat Alabama head to head early in the season, so they deserve to be in. Michigan has won out, but you don't leave them out. And what did Washington do to really deserve to be put in that spot? Like, did they really beat anybody that was really good? The 2 teams that had the hardest strength of schedule was Alabama and Georgia.
That is true.
Alabama took a risk to play Texas early because they know most teams in college football aren't going to play the big teams because they don't want to have a loss on their record. They pretty much play other teams that are in other conferences, but they're not really good teams. Like you'll see, like it could be random. Like Georgia might play Colorado. All right, I'm almost certain no one's going to pick Colorado to win that game.
You talking about Deion, Colorado?
Deion, Colorado before, it don't matter.
You're right, because but the rankings was Michigan 1, Washington 2, Texas 3, and Alabama 4.
Yeah, so that's so I got that mixed up. But Washington, who did Washington play this year to say that? Oh yeah, they deserve to be in. Yeah, they won the Pac-12, the last Pac-12 championship, but didn't they? I just don't understand it. They struggled in a few games this season, and it's against the Pac-12, who has no defense. They don't play the defense in Pac-12. You saw what happened to USC. Caleb Williams is not even in the playoff. He's not even playing in a bowl game because he getting drafted overall.
And for all my new Colorado fans, you see what happened after that 3-game win streak. It was actually in all the Deion games, they really weren't playing that much defense. They were just outscoring teams.
Exactly. Now, I'll say, this is not to say that Washington don't deserve to be in there because they beat, like Joe said, they beat Oregon twice.
That's funny.
But what I'm saying is, my point is that if you want the 4 best teams in there, the 4 best teams, it's Alabama and Georgia's in there. I'm sorry. Because I don't think Washington will have a chance against either one of them. That's just me being honest. After seeing what I've seen this year, I don't think they have a chance against either one of them. Now, you can say that they may have a shot against Alabama because Alabama lost to Texas. But remember, Texas is going to the SEC. They're going to the SEC now. Them and Oklahoma are going to the SEC conference. So I just really believe that Florida State got robbed. As much as I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, they went undefeated. They 13-0, they went undefeated, and you don't even give them a shot. To me, that just don't make sense. I get it, injuries happen, but Ohio State had an injury that happened too when Cardale Jones was the backup, and he went in and they won a national championship. No one thought that they would win a national championship with him there, and they thought that they were going to lose, get blown out by Alabama, and that clearly didn't happen. So if you allow Ohio State to do it and they win and win, you should have allowed Florida State to do the same thing.
And me just being a little bit removed from the situation, some people will say this is why they don't really keep up with college sports unless you technically went to a college sport or you find that one team and you follow them all the way through, is because of this situation here where it's like, well, if they went 13-0, why is this team over there? Then it gets too confusing, and then you got to give all these details, and then they're like, you know what? I'm going to just check out. And then I'll probably just watch a championship game. Some people also have issues because there's so many bowl games. They like, well, what does the bowl game mean? Does this mean they go to the playoffs? Is this like a championship? It's just so much with it that technically you need to check out CTC for more details. But this is how an average fan can get turned off from it. And again, when I was looking up the situation, I said, well, Florida State went 13-0. I looked at Washington and I seen they did beat Oregon twice. But some people would say Oregon compared to Georgia, or Oregon compared to Alabama, or Oregon compared to who else is up there? Michigan. Like technically, I watched a few Michigan games. Of course, they beat up on the Terps, but it's like Michigan went into some places and played some games and think about all the stuff that they were dealing with throughout this entirety of the season about them stealing plays. I mean, play calls. They had to overcome so much.
Jim Harbaugh missed 6 games through the suspension this year, and they still ran the table.
And what you said about Florida State, that game where they won, I think it was the 16-6 game over Louisville, where like you don't even have your quarterback.
Best player not even on the field, and you still go out and win the game. I get it. Your defense played great, but you still supposed to go win the game. You still got to score points. So,
and it's your quarterback. Like that in college football, you lose your quarterback. Sometimes the backup can come in, but it's like it's done after that.
Just about.
That's a lot. Like everybody don't have a Tua or Jalen Hurts situation. It's just not gonna happen. But for me, they didn't get this one right, man. Hey, college football. I know y'all trying to get more fans, you're trying to get more eyes on the sport, but I think somebody gonna be in the doghouse.
Tune in Wednesday at 6:30.
Yep. And it's the moment we all been waiting for. I know we good on time now, so we gonna have a little moment with this one. So I'm gonna introduce this for you. I know because you got a lot to say. They've been talking trash since pre-Buffalo Bills game. He gave y'all 3 days. Say go beat the Bills, and then I'll holler at you after that. So hold on. Let me clear my throat right quick. Pause. Don't cancel us for this one, y'all. 10 months ago, crying was all I heard. Wait a minute. Let me finish. 10 months ago, Debo said it wouldn't be close if Purdy was in the game. Now let me finish. 1 day ago, Debo stood on business. He said, look, man, I told you I wasn't going to be close if Purdy was still in the game. And this was 10 months ago. He also said that Bradbury was trash. Now, granted, Bradbury did his thing. I'll address the Bradbury part. But Purdy played. Game started off slow. Purdy threw 4 touchdown passes as the 49ers crushed the injured Hurts and Eagles souls 42-19. Dave, you've been waiting 10 months for you to address this. You've been relentless in the chats. The floor is yours.
Just one of them days.
Man, I've been waiting for this moment. Now, it's not the Super Bowl. There's still other things to play for. I understand that. But my boy stood on business yesterday. Dressed in all black, as you can see. I'm dressed in all black as well. Because we went to the link for a funeral. Not for a retirement party. For a funeral. Yes, Sean Jackson, who deserves to have his jersey retired in Philadelphia. Also witnessed his Philadelphia Eagles get murdered in front of his face. You know, I got to go with some stats from the game. Brock Purdy has 4 games this year with at least 3 touchdown passes and a passer rating of 140 or better. You know who doesn't have a passer rating of 148.8 in their career so far? Jalen Hurts.
Wait. Repeat that.
Brock Purdy had a 148.8 rating yesterday against the Eagles.
48.
You know who's never had that in their career? Jalen Hurts. Now, there are some people that say, maybe he don't deserve to be in the MVP conversation.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Brock Purdy is not it. He's a system quarterback. I hear you. He's dominant in this system, though. He leads the league in quarterback rating, passer rating, yards per completion, touchdown percentage, completion percentage, air yards per attempt. That's the most through 12 games in NFL history. 9, almost 10 yards per pass he's completing. That's the most through 12 games in NFL history. No one else has ever done that. Now, do you know the other 4 guys that led the league in yards per attempt also won MVP? You want me to tell you who those guys were?
Name them.
Aaron Rodgers in 2011.
Let him cook now.
Peyton Manning in 2004.
Let him cook.
Boomer Esiason in 1988.
Man,
And Dan Marino in 1984.
damn.
Brock Purdy is on pace to throw for 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions.
I said let him cook.
How many interceptions does Jalen Hurts have right now? It's like 10 or 11, correct?
It's about 10. I think
Oh,
it's 10.
okay. Purdy only has 6. He's top 10 in interceptions because he doesn't throw a lot. So, shout out to Joe. He said that he was MVP. I still say it's CMC, but he's making a case. There's no denying that he's making a case. Do you know that the 49ers as a team has a plus 102 point differential this season? Number 1 overall.
No, y'all are. Y'all cooking. Go ahead.
And that's against teams who are in the playoff spot entering week 14.
That's why I check out.
You know who has the second best? The Baltimore Ravens with a plus 45. So even though the Ravens are still doing just as great, our point differential is crazy because it's plus 102.
That's crazy. You would think Dallas would be up there with all them blow. That's crazy.
You would think so. You would think so. Deebo Samuel had a great game yesterday. Juwan Jennings had a touchdown. CMC had a touchdown. You know, San Francisco scored on 6 straight drives, all touchdowns.
Just one of them days.
And there were some Eagles teammates crying on the sideline. I think his name is Jalen Carter. You know, he's in the running for a defensive rookie of the year. What impact did he make yesterday? He made a few.
How come he don't want me, man?
But they lost at the link. Didn't they say that there was a lot of boo-hooing going on and we're going to have to come in there and put the pads on and see what happened? Well, what happened? What happened, BG?
He lied.
What happened, BG? What happened, old guy? Hassan Reddick, you got put on skates. Deebo put you on skates, man. I don't. Yeah, y'all supposed to be standing on business, but it was cry all night long. We did what we were supposed to do. We went in there and handled business. Now we done told them that this was going to happen. We said this all off season that we are the better team when we're healthy and when we have a quarterback out there, we're going to beat you and it's not going to be close. And that's exactly what happened. We beat you at home when your quarterback was healthy. Now he went out for a couple plays in the game, but he played the entire game. He didn't not come back. He came back in the game. Now he played well. That's not to say that Jalen Hurts played terrible because he didn't play terrible. But they had the opportunity to put the game away on their first 2 drives. But our defense only allowed them to get field goals. So that's what happens when you mess with San Francisco. We told y'all who the best team in the NFC is, and it's San Francisco. We lost those 3 games, but we're also missing 2 of our best players. Trent Williams, we know what the offensive line is without him. It is terrible without him. And Deebo Samuel, even though he's not the wide receiver he's not the pure receiver that Brandon Ayuk is, he's still a weapon, as you can see within the last 2 games. He does what he needs to do, and there's no stopping him. Eagles fans, keep talking about having this number 1 seed right now. You better go win against Dallas next week, or you know where you're going to end up in the playoffs. You're going to have to come to Santa Clara, and you're going to lose again. I'm telling you this now. You're not going to beat us in the playoffs. We knew what we needed to do to beat you, and we showed you that. be careful of what you say to San Francisco. Because now I got to get the rest of this bird stew together. You know, it's bird hunting season. We didn't got the Seahawks out the way. Now we got y'all. It's
got the Cardinals next.
Yeah, got the Seahawks, then the Cardinals, then the Ravens. So it's bird hunting season, man. We Eagles, look, sorry but not sorry. You deserve this L. Y'all been your fans have been going crazy all year long. So it's only right that I tell y'all to go home, tuck yourselves in, and just have a good night's sleep because you're not the best team in the NFC. You've been skating through this entire time, and you messed around and messed with the best team in the NFC, and you got blown out at home. The link is supposed to be all of this, but you got beat the brakes off you at home. So, Philly, you're welcome for the loss.
Man, hold on, because my man was preaching right there. We gotta give him a... My man waited 10 months to tell y'all, man, that this was gonna happen. And it happened. I wish I would have played them first, so then I could just be like, oh, maybe we won't get beat as bad. But hey, it happens. The one positive in that game is that Jalen Hurts didn't throw 3 interceptions like Dak did. Dak just you talking about wheels falling off? The wheels just fell off. Yeah. In this game, it was close. You know, Philly got, what was it, 2 field goals to start it off, and then next thing you know, second quarter came and y'all said we're gonna score a touchdown, and then we're gonna score again. Then the Eagles didn't score. Then the third quarter came, and like I said, I told y'all, Philly flipped it from last year. They used to be a first half team, and now they're a second half team. I think y'all started with the ball in the third quarter, and in my head, I said, well, if the 49ers go out here and score in this third quarter, this might be it. But then I said, I can't say that out loud because, again, Philly find ways to win. Like, I know what the 49ers are capable of, but it's something about this Philadelphia team that finds ways to, just like any blue-collar city, it's like when my back is against the wall, we're going to find a way. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, I'm scrolling on my phone because, you know, I was traveling on the way back. So I started scrolling on my phone. I seen that you all came out with the boombox in Philly. I said, the 49ers score in this third quarter, it's over. What did y'all do? Y'all went down and scored.
Yep.
I think they responded, and then you scored again. I said, yeah, nah, it's done. It's done. Like, I don't know how they're going to do this. And then Jalen Hurts, he got injured. You know, they wanted to check him for the concussion protocol, and Mariota came in for a few plays. Mm-hmm. But when you looked at this game going into it, I know you probably thought it was going to be, you said it was going to be a blowout, and I probably thought you said it was going to be a blowout. Y'all, either way, y'all was going to put a hurting on them boys. Me, I thought it was going to be closer. Because if you think about the best teams in the NFC, you all had that 3-game skid, but I still had you up there as one of the top 2 because technically you beat Dallas. So the way I seen you beat Dallas, and they're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, and I see how you all went up against these other contenders, you still found ways to win. But Philly was just this well-oiled machine. But their offensive play calling is really what's been holding them back this year. I know they have the numbers. They talk about the stats and how they up here with all of this, but Philly is a run-first team. So I was like, if they can find a way to run the ball, Swift, 6 carries, 13 yards. Jalen Hurts ran for 20, but that was him just scrambling out of the pocket. You had more Mariota got in, but Gainwell, I told y'all how I feel about Gainwell. Whenever he's in, that's a wasted rep. So hopefully they can find a way. But AJ Brown went off 114 yards. You know, Devontae Smith got his 96 and a touchdown. So you would think that, hey, this is still Philly trying to find a way. I brought up Bradbury because Debo said he was trash. Mm-hmm. You know, I think PFF said that Bradbury didn't allow more than 1 yard in coverage. So out of all the receiving yards, right, let's think about this. You had Debo, 400 for 116. George Kittle for 68. Darius Slade on check tight ends. But you have Brandon Ayuk, who had 46 and a touchdown. What do you call him? Third and Jennings, 44 and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey had 40 yards. So out of all these yards that Debo had, and if Bradbury only allowed 1 yard, something's wrong with this secondary that we already know. They were 29th. They may be 33rd after this game. Because ain't no way you gonna tell me that Debo and them was going like this. And I just want to say hats off to Debo Samuels, because I think he took whatever whatever King said, and he lived up to it. Because he said, "I stand on business," and he came out there and said, "Y'all trash. I wore my black Air Force Ones before the game." And he stood on business. I think this is one of the first players outside of the Randy Moss game where they was talking about a team and went out there and actually did what they were supposed to do. Because normally teams try to stop it. They just couldn't stop it. Then you got the ejection with Greenlaw. Actually, how could I forget that?
That too.
The ejection with Greenlaw is what gave Philly the momentum because they were already flat. That kind of gave them to score that touchdown because it got them all the way down the field.
I'm about to say that put him in position.
Yeah. But for me, hey Joe, you said Purdy was the MVP front runner. He go out there and win this game. We kept talking about MVP moments. This is an MVP moment. You go into a hostile environment. It's raining. It's cold. Your team needs you. You was down 6-0, and you answered. I still think that CMC and him should be co-MVPs because of the point that I always threw out there that, hey, Joe, whenever Dak was balling, you always brought up Zeke, saying that run game is what's making Dak look good. CMC technically is what making Purdy look good. He is throwing the 4 touchdowns, but if CMC is not back there with that effective run game, does this game get 40 points? I don't think it's 40. I think it's a little bit closer.
Yeah. I'll say this, though. It's not necessarily CMC's running. It's his ability to run and catch. That's what makes CMC so dynamic. Because honestly, if we were just able to run the ball, we would still be effective because Elijah Mitchell was one of the highest graded players from the game yesterday. And he only was in it for like 7 snaps. So we can run the ball. Running the ball has never been an issue. And even if we don't have him, we got Jordan Mason who can do that as well. But without Purdy, we saw what happened in the NFC Championship game with this team. Everyone else was healthy, but Purdy was out. And we only had 7 points. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. He does make the passing game go. But again, complimentary football from top to bottom. I mean, at the end of the day, we always do this in football. We try to separate the teams into 3 parts. But technically, if you are a well-oiled machine, offense, defense, special teams, they all come together, you're going to put up 40 points. And that's what happens. I mean, they say it about the Cowboys beating up on bad teams, but those are the moments where all 3 phases work. And all 3 phases work for this 49ers team. This is the first time I think I've heard the media do a 180 so quickly on who's the best team in the NFC. Because normally they go off a record. They always be like, well, based upon the record, they're the best team. This is a 9-3 team, and they talking about they're the best team in the NFC. Some people want to say in the NFL.
So. Yeah. Somebody was supposed to come on the show and say that, but Eagles fans can't take the heat, when they lost. So they're mourning the loss of the game yesterday. So we're going to give them some grace, kind of, sort of. But Eagles, don't be running. That's not run. Let's do a members only, because I'm the only Niners fan in the chat. So
true.
It's 3 of y'all.
True.
And we can always do a members only. Just let me know when you're available. I'm free. Just let me know when you're available. Because Bird Stew is gone. I got the wings and mumble sauce that's sold out. I still got the nuggets though. I still got some Eagles nuggets. So if you want some, just let me know. Look, I'm vegan, so I can't eat them. So you got the nuggets. I got cookies right here. So we got enough. So
you know what? You still got some nuggets. Hey, send them on down to Dallas, man. We got a Sunday night game we need to play, so we gonna need those.
I got special package for y'all.
Yeah, we gotta show them how to win a game at home because they told us all week that they gonna show us how to beat the 49ers. And I was like, you barely beat the Commanders, and you gonna go out there and beat the 49ers? All right, do your thing, player. And coaching. Let's just talk about coaching right quick because I know we got a few minutes before we get out of here, or we can get out of here early. It's up to you. But I just want to give a hats off to Kyle Shanahan because something about that just says that speaks volumes with the team because the players took it personal and Kyle Shanahan took it personal. Did you see the replay where IU scored the touchdown and he was down there telling him he's open and he just threw the ball? He's like, just like I drawed it up and walked off. Man, it's something, man. It feels good, right? You beat both of the NFC East teams, both of the teams that keep talking about they're going to the Super Bowl, and it ain't that you just beat them. They got 9 more points than us, but you beat us bad, man.
Yeah, I think we won that matchup as a combined 84-29. So,
and that's all Dak fault. We could have at least got 21. We could have got 21. Shout out to Fred Warner, because I said this to Dave, though. I said, hey, man, Fred Warner, talking about he ain't taking it personal. I said, do I got to give him a Dak visor? Because I need you to take this game personal. I'm trying to get that too.
But you saw what he said after the game. He said, are we surprised?
Hey.
Because they weren't surprised and I wasn't surprised. Now, I did say that I thought that it would be closer, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a blowout.
Was you surprised? But look, man, let's get out of here, man. That game was good. That was a good one. I will say, NFL, we clowned y'all for y'all schedule, but these last few weeks, we've been getting some barn burners on Sunday afternoons. We had a good one on Thursday night. Shout out to the Seahawks for making us actually play a football game. And then we got to figure a way to get these Sunday night games a little bit. Well, no, last night was better because nobody expected the Packers to show up. So that was a little good too. And now we got Philly with the Cowboys. I think you said you all got the Seahawks again. I think they done. But this playoff race in the NFC is going to be very, very interesting.
Very, very interesting. Very, very. It's crazy because the Commanders still got a shot. They're not out of playoff contention yet.
Actually, you know what? Who do they play next? Because as long as they ain't got the Dolphins or nobody, they okay. Because I don't think they was expecting to beat the Dolphins.
I didn't even look at the schedule, so I'm not sure who they have next.
But
I know in a couple weeks they got us. So
they got the Rams next, and they trying to fight for a playoff spot. I don't know. And it's in LA, so then they got the Jets, then they got y'all, so I think they done, son. But this playoff race is going to be good in the NFC. The AFC is picking up a little bit because the Texans are still finding ways to upset people. So we'll see, man. Make sure y'all leave something in the comments for us. Let us know how y'all feel about that. Dave, you want to get your last words so we can get up out of here?
Yeah, my last words, I'm just ready for everything else to continue to happen. Great job, San Fran. Miami Heat, let's pick it up. Let's go ahead and win this NFC.
My last words is more so like Wizards. I ain't got no words for y'all. Hey, Cowboys, y'all need to go out there and just win this game, man. Because one, we couldn't get Shaq Leonard. That's my last words. I'm glad I thought about it. So those are my last words. Hey, Dallas Cowboys fans, let's just do this. Whenever there's a big name free agent and they throw out the name Dallas, let's not say a word about it until they sign. Because I feel like Shaq Leonard used us just so he can get a little bit more publicity to sign with the Eagles. And that's exactly what happened. Because one of our safeties came out and said it. He was like, man, as soon as he walked off to go to the plane, he had a big smile on his face, kind of like, oh, I know the Eagles don't want to sign me now because I didn't talk to the Cowboys. I looked at it. I was a little mad, upset, everything. Actually, frustrated, furious, livid, whatever word or you can come up with it. I was like, how come we can't sign the big name free agents no more? D-Hop, Odell, Shaq. They may be out of their prime, but it's just like, if they out there, we should be able to get them, right? That's what Dallas used to do. Now they about to have me talking like Jerry Jones and just saying, you know what? We like our guys. Pause. So it is what it is. Go out there and finish the season because we already know the only way to get to the Super Bowl is to go through either Philly or the 49ers. We already know who's on the team. Get the chemistry up. Go out there, win Sunday.
Yep, and shout out to all the shows on the network. Y'all doing a great job. Tune into the shows tomorrow and tune into Dave's Doghouse on Wednesday.
And we are out of here.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.